Hello, live stream, and happy Tuesday. I'm really excited to have our very first live stream interviewing an artist who worked on this amazing album cover, but I won't get ahead of myself. Let me start by introducing the amazing Salvador. He's a professional graphic designer who was born in Chile, and he's inspired by finding the balance between simplicity and ingenuity without neglecting the details. And that's definitely shown in his masterful design of the Enola Gay cover by Asia Menor. So we're going to be talking about how he got started as an artist, his process as a professional artist, how he came up with this concept, and then some advice for artists like you. So let's get right into it. Salvador, super nice to meet you. First of all, thank you. Welcome to stream.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for inviting me. I didn't know this was your first live stream. I'm
Yeah, well,
kind of
technically
flattered.
not my first one, but it's the first one I've interviewed a professional artist. So really excited about that part.
Are you? I'm trying to join. Are you live on Instagram?
I am live on Instagram. Do you need? I can give you the. Let me give you the URL.
Yeah, it's
Um,
not showing yet. I think.
it takes like a little bit to load, but if you click that URL that I just sent you in the private chat, I'll also send it to you via email. You should be able to see it there. I'm also live. We're live on TikTok and we are live on uh, YouTube as well.
Great. Um, yeah. What can I say?
Okay, perfect. So, how did you get started as an artist?
I think when I was very little, I maybe I'm going way too back, but I really like to draw. I like to draw Pokemon, and then I got my first computer. I think I was in school. I like to make memes for my friends. Maybe a
Oh,
little, just a little kid making memes for his friends. And that's when I first started using Photoshop. I think that was maybe 2013, maybe. Yeah.
so you've always
Um,
had a passion for art.
yeah, you could say that.
Well, what was your first professional project?
My first professional project was. Um, I hadn't really thought about that, but the one that felt the most professional was probably this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this was done in we started I started working with the band in 2021, I think, for their singles art,
That's
and
awesome.
then we kept working until I think 2023 when the album was released.
How did they initially find you and contact you? Did you already know the band members or did they find you on Instagram?
In 2019, I moved inside my city to another house, and then I became neighbors with Jorge,
No way.
the lead singer. Yeah, we had a couple friends in common, so they introduced me to him. He didn't really the band wasn't formed yet in 2019, so but we became a little close. Maybe I went to his house a couple times. I remember him playing guitar in his bedroom, playing the songs to the
No
song.
way, really? That's so
Yeah, so
cool.
I got to listen to the first like uh,
That's that's
first
crazy.
steps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wow, that's awesome. So I guess that shows the power of just knowing people and being in the right place at the right time, right? Like it was
I,
just like
I really
luck
was.
and serendipity that put you guys together. When did you guys, so you said you started working first on single covers. What was that conversation like? Was he like, hey man, like I know you're an awesome artist. Do you want to help me design some stuff? Did you approach him?
Yeah, I think he approached me because I had my Instagram account with a couple designs. They were more artistic than what I do now. I tried experimenting with someday I just sat in my computer and thought, what if I make a little like art singles, like I don't know how to call them, but I the challenge was to make art without using anything other than the Photoshop tools and
Yeah.
what it gave me. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Well,
Um,
first post, and then I guess he knew I knew how to use Photoshop, and that was about it.
so when you started working on the singles, would you hear the song first and then design the cover, or would you design the
Yeah.
cover for? Okay, so how much did the music play into how you would design the cover? Like, what? Tell me about that process.
I think you listen to a song and you feel you can analyze the lyrics, right? And you can also feel the ambience, the how can you say this? There's like a style you can associate this even just the sound to words, right? To
Yeah.
colors. That's that's probably what you do in your that's most definitely associated with what you do in your videos. You
Yeah,
understand?
it absolutely is. No, I know. That's why I'm like nerding out so much you saying that. I'm like, I get it completely. That's exactly what I do. Okay, cool. So, like, does it feel like an instinctual process to you? Like, do you feel like you hear the music and then it's like more of a feeling, like it's less of a like thing you have to think about? Is that how you would describe it?
I think it is, but I don't think we have that ability, to be honest, as a human. I think it's just we have consumed so much media and maybe movies and whatever, and our brain probably just processes it without acknowledging it. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Totally.
it's
Oh,
like
yeah. It's like subconscious. Like it's like
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
just inherently know. Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
I totally know what you mean. Okay, cool. So sounds like you were already working with the band like as they were even really writing this album. And actually, let's switch here so we can start looking at this cover. I'll make it bigger. Okay, cool. So, how much did the album title? Did you even know the album title when you started designing? That's my first question.
I think I did. The band used to be called Enola Gay. Like the album is called now. The band that was the band's name. And eventually
Really?
they changed their name to Asia Menor and decided to use Enola Gay as their first album name.
Okay, interesting. So, did you research Enola Gay? Because there is like a bunch of history about it. It has to do with like World War II and the bombings. Like,
Yeah,
did that matter to you when you were designing this? Like, tell me a little bit about how this design came about.
yeah. I don't think the name mattered too much, but I was just reading about it to refresh my memory, and they chose Enola Gay because of the ironic element of the name, because it was the name of a I think a plane, a bomb like a bomb whatever, and it was named after the mother of the pilot, I think.
Oh,
And then
really?
yeah, that's kind of ironic because it's like you name this awful thing to someone you love, and then you use it to throw bombs at Hiroshima, and it's like I guess they
Yeah.
just like the irony and chose the name. I think if any of them are looking watching right now, they can probably say it by themselves, but yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That's really cool insight. Thank you for sharing that with us. Okay, so you knew the album name since it was kind of the band's name, and then they switched it around. Like, tell me a little bit about the concept for the visuals. Like, did the concept of like destruction and war come into play here? Like, how did you maybe the band influenced it? They were like, hey, we want something that looks and feels like this. Like, where did this
Yeah.
idea come from, and how did you approach the just the concepting and the beginning stages of that?
They we lived in a place called Fundo El Carmen. And very close to it, there were some houses that were being destroyed to build I think a big building, residential building. So they were there like for months, and the guys probably always walked past it and decided to take photos of it. They they sent me like a big a lot of the photos they took, and they wanted to use those.
Oh
But the
wow.
idea
Okay,
was
so
to modify them.
they took the photos.
Yeah, they had this whole concept, I guess, built around the lyrics make sense with it, the destruction, the house without doors and windows. I think that's a lyric for a song. So they sent me the photos. They said they wanted it to look like a place, like a destroyed place, but at the same time, it didn't look like a place. Didn't look like something that could uh, be real,
Yeah, like an
like an
optical
like an
illusion.
infinite. Yeah, it was an infinite space of buildings and walls and destroyed things.
In a way, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Inception, but it's like a Leonardo DiCaprio movie. But what they do so well is create like a dreamscape and like impossible places. And this album cover totally reminds me of that. Like it is an impossible place, but it's also so real. It feels like somewhere I've been, but at the same time, it can't exist. And like I think that's what drew me so much to this cover because it's like that concept of being so real but so dreamlike is something like I think very hard to execute, and you executed this really well. So tell me a little bit about the conversations that you had with band members about the aesthetics. Like, how opinionated were they? How much did you influence the direction that the band was going in? Like, tell me a little bit about like just the relationship between you as a designer and the musicians. And the reason I'm asking is because a lot of my audience is either a musician who is looking to hire a graphic designer, or their graphic designer is looking to work with musicians, or they're musicians who are trying to do both at the same time. So I'm asking kind of to also give them some tips and advice, like how these working relationships usually go and like how to make that be really successful.
That is a great question. I really like it because I am very grateful with the guys, especially Jorge, which was the one I got to talk about it, and he was like the band's representative in this conversation. So I am really really grateful that he really trusted me with my artistic, how can you say it, like vision and decisions. I would send him a photo, right? And he would just say, "Yeah, that's great. Go on. You are like, getting the hang of it." It probably wasn't that great at the beginning. I actually got some of the initial looks into the album, which are not that great. I don't know if I can share those with you in any way.
Yeah, you can actually. Let me I should be able to let you share your screen. Let me see how I do that. Or if you send me the website, I can also share it on my end too. Let me see. There
No,
oh yeah.
I actually have it right here. If I could, do you think I could share my screen? And
I think I
I'm
just
trying.
enabled it. Do you have a button
Yeah,
that says share screen?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, go ahead, try. Okay,
Can
perfect.
you see
Let
it?
me I have to add it. Okay, yeah, there we go. Perfect. Wow,
Yeah.
this is
So
so cool.
this,
So this is some of the beginning designs in Photoshop.
yeah, this was the
Oh,
first. I think
wow.
it didn't really look like much. This was the photo they sent me. So I think I reversed it. Probably that was the original photo. Then
Yeah.
I flipped it. I added a couple of things. Then yeah, I we really moved past that because next then we started working with this. I wanted to talk about this Sudoku. I
Oh,
don't know if you
wow.
guys know
Yeah,
it, but
yeah, we do. Yeah.
yeah, they
I
had
thought
this
it was like
this
a crossword. Do you know what crosswords are?
yeah, 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 yeah. That's the point. They wanted to do like a crosswords with the band's name, but I wanted to take it like a step further, to make it a little challenging for the audience, and decided to make a Sudoku with words, with letters. I mean, so
Oh,
if you
really?
if you
So you can
actually
actually play that game?
you can actually play this Sudoku and reveal the band's name and the yeah, I think it's it's the album's name.
That is so cool. That is like such a smart way to like think about like adding an Easter egg into the album art because I definitely have seen that Sudoku. I saw it on your portfolio link and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." I didn't realize it's a genuinely playable Sudoku game. That's genius. How did you come up with that?
I actually was playing Sudoku at that time, so I guess it just came to mind. But I googled a page that lets you create your own Sudokus. So I started experimenting. You had to decide like what letters are you gonna use because Sudoku have like a 9 by 9 square. So it just fit perfectly. It was Enola dash Gay.
That's so
So I
awesome.
actually got to test it with a friend that was really good at Sudoku. I sent him a couple of times. He said, "Yeah, you can actually defeat it. Yeah,
That's
complete it."
awesome. Oh wow. I'm gonna have to spend some time this afternoon trying to solve the puzzle. I'm horrible at Sudoku, but at least this one has like repeated letters, so maybe that'll save me.
No,
But that's so
actually,
cool.
that's the challenging part because there's a letter that's repeated. So it's like if you played Sudoku and it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 7, 8, 9.
Right,
It's
right,
a little more challenging. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's like playing it on hard mode. Wow, that's
yeah.
awesome. And it's cool too that like you were inspired by that idea because you were playing Sudoku at the time. It's like art imitates life and you're bringing like parts of like your own personal life into the band's art, which is now cemented in music history. I mean, you go onto Spotify, you're seeing all this art. It's there forever. Like that must feel so cool. Okay, so keep going. I don't mean to interrupt you because this is really interesting.
No, it's okay. I think the next one I wanted to show was the original. It's loading right now. Wait, give me a second.
So did this photo that we were just looking at, is that also coming from the band? Are all these photos like the band kind of broke into this house and took all these photos?
These photos, this right here, this right here, this right here is a collage. Like these are, see,
Oh,
yeah, we kind of built it on top of it.
oh, wow.
But what I wanted to tell you guys in the audience, I don't know, how many people are watching?
We have about 10 and we'll get a bunch more, probably a couple hundred after I post this on YouTube.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'll probably rewatch it and obsess over my pronunciation and things.
Oh, please don't. You're doing great. You're actually
Thank you,
that you're giving us such good info. Okay, so
thank you.
this is the final cover. It was cool to see actually the progression. So, tell me how we arrived to this final cover.
Listen, so they sent me these photos and wanted it to well to look like this. And at the time, I was studying design. I was at my second year of university, and I didn't really know how to get it to a point where it looked like this. So what I did was at that time, generative AI, was just getting like its first boom. So I started experimenting with it. I got this page that was called what was it called? I had it just Deep Dream Generator. It gave you like a couple tokens to generate an image, and I created a collage just like this one with the photos the guy sent me. I created like I constructed what I wanted it to look like, and then I uploaded it to the AI, and it referenced it, and I made a prompt. I said, make it look eerie and distracted and whatever. I probably did that like 100 times. I had to create fake emails. What is it called? Temporal emails, and create new accounts every time because it only gave me like 2 or 3 images
So it
per account.
almost seems like using the AI was as long as doing the manual process.
Most definitely. I wanted to show you also the image the AI gave me. It was not very great. Wait, where is it? Yeah, I think it's this one.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is
So
from the AI.
yeah, at the time AI only gave you like 800 by 800 pixel images, so it wasn't very great. I had to work around it and make it pop, I guess,
So how
fill in
did
the
you
gaps.
Yeah, I'm actually curious about that process. So, how did you take what the AI gave you and make it like edit it in a human way to make it look like the cover that we have now? Like, did you kind of cut parts out of the screen like the same way we saw the other collage? Did you do that now but with a bunch of AI images?
No, it's actually just what the AI gave me. If you look at it, but I had to decide what colors I wanted it to show more. Um, for
Oh, I
example,
see.
right
It
here you
looks
have like this
so
little
different. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
No, I see it
glare.
now.
I had to
Yeah.
dim some lights, make it pop around here. I think I changed some of the colors. It had like some weird colors here. Yeah, listen, if I could do this again, probably wouldn't use AI. I used it because it was the only tool I had in my toolbox that could get me to this point, and to
Absolutely.
really deliver what I guess I can say my clients wanted, you know?
For sure. And I also think like what I like about this process is you didn't actually just take what the AI gave you and put it on the cover. Like you did do the human thing of editing it, making it feel like more like what you wanted, and you change the colors, which obviously, of course, as you can see, I care deeply about. So tell me a little bit about how you approach the colors, recoloring it, like picking that direction, like because looking at the before and after, now what I'm seeing is like it was very dark and you actually brightened it a lot and you kind of softened it in certain ways. Like, tell me about that artistic process. Like, how did you decide how to recolor this in a way that makes it like I didn't realize that those two photos were the same and that it was just edited until you showed me just now.
Yeah, it's what I guess it's what I talked about before about the music representing colors and representing words, concepts. So since we had worked on the single art before, it had like this color scheme of maybe like worn over greens and beige and whatever, and gray, a lot of gray. See here, you can see all the little effects I had to add to so it looks a little better.
Wow, yeah. Oh my god. I I can see it here like as you go the before and after, but it's not it's literally night and day. It's such an interesting process.
Yeah, it was really
Okay,
fun, I guess.
so tell me a little bit about the band's reaction when you showed them this cover. Did you show them a lot of different options? Like where I'm here, sharing your screen, you're showing me a ton of different options. Like
Yeah,
how many of those did you share with the band? What was that process like of having them maybe like approve or request edits? This is like another question so I can like give our audience some advice when they're working with musicians.
yeah. Listen, don't take advice from me because I will involve the artist in every step, and it will be very annoying and very long. But I really enjoy having their feedback. At least at that time. Right now, I'm trying to be a little more effective, maybe just allow them to like 3 or 4 changes per work. But this I think this was the first one I sent them that was made with AI. And this is I don't know if you guys know, but this is the design of the how can you say it? Around
Um,
the cover, there's the cover and there's the back.
oh, yeah, yeah. Like the back side, like the reverse side of the album.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay. Interesting.
So yeah.
So, Did they so did you end up saying like, "Hey, like I think we should go with this cover?" And they were like,
I
"I don't know." Or did you let them be like, "Here's 5 options and you can pick the one that you want?"
No, I think it was very progressive, like one step at a time. And then when I sent them this one, I think they really liked it. I really liked it too, and I think we just agreed on this one. Oh, actually, I think this one I sent first, and this one
Oh,
was like the first milestone of like we like that, we like what you did. But then we kept going at it. I think some guy said I wanted to look like even more immersive and crazy. So we kept going at it, and we left this as the back cover, and we ended up with this one as the front cover.
wow.
I also did the collage. Like I used the images they sent me. I placed them over over little pieces of images, but I don't have the original one. But you guys are just gonna have to believe me, because why
I
would I lie?
yeah,
I'm already saying
I
I did it with AI. So
I mean, I totally believe you. Even just the first one that you showed us, you were showing us how you were layering those different, like you were basically doing the collage before you even took it into AI. So, yeah, I mean, absolutely. I don't even think you could probably achieve this level of results without giving a really strong reference image because AI is like AI, it's going to do what it wants. Like, so.
yeah. No, the page I use allows you to say, yeah, I want the AI to influence like 20% of the image, maybe 80, maybe 60. So yeah, I had to play a lot with that. Here's one I actually saved. You see, I
Oh, wow. Yeah.
these are the photos they sent me, and I constructed this.
That's so cool. You're totally a Photoshop master. I need to learn from you. So, on that same note, what advice would you give to artists who are experimenting with this collage style? Like, do you have any philosophies you usually work with? Like, for example, like you like to have a lot of things on the screen at one time, or maybe you like to have a single focal point, or maybe some advice on how to use light and color in a collage. Like, can you just give me some tips to anybody who follows you because they admire your work and wants to learn from you and wants to maybe make art in this similar style?
Listen, I don't think my other projects look very much like this. Maybe what I really like playing around is textures and paper, and make things look like they were made with paper. I'm gonna open another one of my projects. But what I really do is just go at it. You go at it, you maybe get your first and second idea, you play around it, you make something that looks awful, you hate it, you close your computer, and you come back to it next day and say, "Whoa, I can improve this and this and this," and just keep doing that until you end at a point where you are happy with it.
Yeah, so it's just about experimenting and giving yourself grace and allowing yourself to fail in a good way because it ultimately is all just about the creative process.
Yeah, I will show you. For example, here's a version of the last poster I did. It's supposed to look like
Wait,
a bus ticket.
I think you might need to switch your screen share. We're still seeing the other window with the
Oh
album.
wait,
Oh, yep, there we
right
go.
there.
Perfect. Ooh, okay. Tell me about how you achieved this effect.
Yeah, it's just a lot of layers. You use a lot of masks here to make it look. Listen, this was done with the ripple effect. Oh, mine's is in Spanish, but yeah, I use a brush here to make it look like it's kind of hairy, like paper. When you break paper, that's maybe the point here is look at things in the real world, see how they interact, see what textures they create, maybe try to look at it as it was in the screen. You see it creates little hairs. You see it makes this little pull apart paper thingies. And yeah, just have fun with it.
That's awesome. I also saw your portfolio on Behance. I'm not sure how you say that, but
Yeah, Behance.
your style is very I don't know what the right word is, but it's exactly what you said. It's like it looks like everything's like printed on paper or a little bit faded. Like there was one that there's like this music iPod that you did that I think was like for a Bad Bunny special or something.
Yeah,
I love that one. I love the colors in that one. I don't know if I can share my screen and show it, but
yeah.
here,
Let me stop my lecture.
I have this one right here. I loved it. I thought this was so cool. Oh, that's a big image. Sorry. I'm trying to zoom in for us. Nope. Okay, let me try zooming in. Nope. Okay, we can't zoom in. I'll just stop zooming in. Okay, sorry. Um, okay, cool. Now we can actually look at it. Can you tell me a little bit about the colors in this? This is like if you like my followers will know I care a lot about the combination of pink and blue, especially in music. It's one of the two or one of several color combinations that I see a lot. And it's usually in pop music and it usually represents like a big iconic album or artist. I don't know why, but like most of the biggest most iconic albums and artists use this color combination. So tell me a little bit about this, how you approached the design of this one.
Um, yeah, that was a long time ago. That was probably like 6 years ago. But yeah, not my proudest work, but I really thank you for liking it.
Oh, I really love
It's
it.
it's
I
it's
would be
very
super
different from
proud of
what for
that.
what I make today. It's very different. Yeah,
Um,
I think the colors just I think you can tell me better what they mean because you're the color expert here.
I probably can. So when I was looking into, I call it the pink blue conspiracy in pop music because you'll see tons of different artists from Lady Gaga to Taylor Swift. Pretty much every one of your favorite artists use some combination of pink and blue at some point in their career or multiple points. I think if I had to distill it into a single reason, I think it's because pink is generally a very optimistic, and usually we see this with female artists, but Harry Styles also does pink and blue, so it's not exclusively female. Um, but we'll see this as being kind of a nod to femininity or positivity and softness or like maybe sweetness. And blue is typically a color in pop music that either says, I'm very safe, or it says, I'm very much in control. So pink and blue together really establishes an artist's legacy, I would say, both as if it's a woman, then a feminine icon who is also a safe icon, like safe in terms of marketing and music and pop culture. So I would imagine if I had to do a color analysis on this, like what I would imagine is that you're tapping into the zeitgeist, like what we were talking about earlier in our conversation, where you were like, I just feel these colors and I instinctively know what to use. Like you're probably absorbing all of these like different album covers with pink and blue, and you're like, oh, I just associate these colors with this feeling that this music gives me. And that's how, if I was going to say like me trying to do a color analysis on this on the fly, that's where I would say this probably comes from. But as you know, I care a lot about pink and blue, so that's what I would say about this. I do want to highlight some other projects in your portfolio too. I thought this one was really cool and super interesting. It's like very simple in a non-simplistic way. Like it's both simple but feels like it's communicating a complex concept. Can you talk a little bit about this one?
Yeah, that was one of the challenges I told you about that I wanted to make art only inside Photoshop. So those are just colors and Photoshop effects. It's supposed to, the first one on the left is supposed to represent you looking into the sun, and the second one is the same, but you are underwater, you know?
Oh, I totally see the ripples.
Yeah,
Wow, that is so interesting. I absolutely love this. I also love that it almost feels, I don't know how much experience you have with film photos, but I'm a big photographer. That's actually how I got my start in like the design world. And this feels to me like an old film photograph that was like worn over time. So it's not just looking into the sun, it's like that feeling of nostalgia as a kid. Like this is what that gave me, is like that feeling of nostalgia of like what when you do that when you're a kid and you're like playing in the yard and you're like looking at the sun and like take a photo of it. Like that's kind of the feeling I got from these. I thought this was like, and I love, obviously love the colors. I just, this blue is one of my favorite blues of all time. It's like a little bit like, I mean, for me, this one, it's like a little bit yellower or like greener. But it
yeah.
just, this blue just feels so like lush and rich to me. I just absolutely love what you did with this.
Thank you. That's a beautiful appreciation.
Let's talk about this one a little bit. How did this come about?
Yeah, that's just experimenting with effects, maybe getting a little outside the box. You see those the like the I'm sorry, I don't know the specific words for this, but sometimes you play with an image so much it kind of gets destroyed. Like the have you ever tried to taking the background of an image and it's very poorly done, so it leaves a little like a rough border? That's what I was experimenting with, and that's what I just came up with. It says, "I invite you to jump on my nail bed." That's what it says.
Oh, okay. That's so interesting. So, what I like about what you just said is that, like, you took something that would typically be considered a mistake, right? Like these little artifacts in Photoshop, people will go in and try to remove them because they don't like them. But
Yeah,
you turned that into something really intentional here. I love that. That is absolutely the process of an artist, is like this finding mistakes and turning those into something intentional. I think absolutely everybody could learn something from that process. That's amazing.
thank you.
Um, okay, let's just do like one more, and then I have a couple more questions and some questions in chat that I want to move on to. But tell me a little bit about these. I love this. This gives me like a diagram from science school or like from like
Yeah, that's what I was going
elementary
for.
school. Yeah, it's so cool. So tell me a little bit about this one. How did you come up with this idea? What inspired it?
Um, what you just said, it's like a science elementary book, like I think it's supposed to look like a cell or whatever. I was just looking at a lot of those at the time, so I guess I wanted to make my own interpretation, but make like a metaphor out of it.
That's awesome. Help me out with my Spanish. I know this is love. What does the rest of it say?
Yeah, it. I think it says ego.
Oh yeah, I do see that. Let me see if I
It says
can.
love. It's kind of redundant, but it says love from love, love from love. Like you know what it
Oh,
means,
okay, yeah, I do know what you mean. Wow,
and not
that is
from ego, like love from deep inside, like truly love from the core of it, from the core of love.
that is so interesting too, because it looks like ego is on the outer fringes of the cell, and the love is coming from like the core deep center of the cell. Like this is such an interesting, I think very inspired way to communicate a concept like this. I absolutely love this. I think this is like truly genius.
Thank you so much.
And was this in Photoshop too, or did you hand draw this one?
Yeah, no, it's all in Photoshop. It's just Photoshop effects, and I'm just playing with the effects.
Wow. That's incredible. One day you're gonna have to jump on live again and do a Photoshop shop tutorial for everybody, because
No,
I
that's not gonna work unless you have like 20 hours to play and experiment on a live stream.
I mean maybe, who knows? It could be a fun little 20-hour sprint that we could do.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go back to some of my questions. I just have a couple more, and then I want to move to Instagram because I know we have a bunch of people who had questions for me to ask in Instagram. Um, okay, so I want to ask you what other artists or designers have inspired you, and what have you taken from their work?
Ooh, that is a really hard question. I'm literally just going inside my Instagram to see what artists do I follow, but yeah, I don't know what to say to that, honestly. But
It's too
I
many to count.
just looking at the Instagram, seeing what artists I like, and then I follow them. But I especially like people who really believe in their style. Like someone has this idea of how things should work and how what things are not supposed to be done, and they keep going at it. I really like those people that are really inspired and
That's
focused.
awesome. That's awesome. And I feel the same way. Like when someone's passion is clear and they really care deeply about their work, like that translates so much. And I feel even if I don't necessarily like the art itself, I love their passion. It makes me love the art just through how much they deeply care about it. I completely agree with what you're saying. I think yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um Okay, can you give me some tips about burnout or motivation? Like a lot of people in my audience will send me messages like, "Hey, like I like drawing, but I just don't do it anymore because I feel I'm burnt out. I don't know how to get inspired again, or I'm really self conscious about my work. I don't want to share it because I don't want, I'm not really proud of it yet. Like, can you give me some tips for artists who are just starting out on their journey? Like, help them become more creative, feel more inspired, and I guess like stay consistent as like, or maybe like stay motivated as an artist is a better way to say it.
I think um I think it's very different for me because I guess I can say I'm an artist, but also I'm a designer. So it's my profession. I do it for money, you know. So I have to be motivated. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to eat or pay the rent. So yeah, but for artists who struggle a lot with maybe motivation, maybe some people are too worried about what others think, and maybe they do it for others and not for themselves, not for themselves. Sorry. So just draw for yourself. Maybe don't try to publish it every time. And when you are really proud of your work, when you will know when you get to a point where you're proud of it and you maybe can post it. It's still gonna be embarrassing, but you should just do it and see what other
Totally.
things. And if you're
I think
blocked creatively, you can try other types of art. Maybe not just maybe if you like to draw, start to make, I don't know, collages or take photography or maybe try to make music, sing, dance.
yeah,
It's I think it's all connected and it all feeds off each other.
absolutely. I think the other sneaky tip that I'm hearing you say is do it for work because then you'll have to do it.
Yeah, also
So
that.
that's another strategy people could take, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I am going to move to questions in chat. So I have a bunch from Instagram. If anybody is on the live stream and wants to ask a question, now is a great time to do so. I also see a bunch of messages from chat. I didn't acknowledge them, but hello, everybody from Chile. We have a bunch of people who said greetings from Chile. Chile is the best country. You guys are so right. At some point, Salvador, I'm gonna come visit you in Chile, and you can host me. So,
Yeah, please come.
all
It's
right.
beautiful here.
So let me ask you some questions. Okay, so someone asked you if there's any movies that inspire you.
Any movies that inspire me? When I a couple years ago, maybe I can't say I was little, but I really liked the Life of Walter Mitty. That was an interesting one.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know that one. What did
Yeah,
you like about it?
I just think the message it shows like try to look into try to look like from a beautiful perspective. Like I think I don't remember much details, but I think he was like a dreamer. He was daydreaming a lot, and he ended up playing in it and like playing his fantasies and going around the world. So that was very inspiring. A movie that I watched, I think last year was it was a Japanese movie called Perfect Days. I don't know if you watched that.
I have not, no, but now I have to add it to my list.
Yeah, you guys gotta watch that blah, blah, blah. Watch that one. I'm sorry. It's beautiful. It's very slow. It's not very dramatic, but it just made me like appreciate life more and maybe take a slower pace in life, not be so worried all the time and running everywhere.
That's
Just
awesome.
take your time and maybe feel sad a little, then feel great after.
That's good advice for anybody. Okay,
Enjoy the little things.
at Tired 14 asked today if you would change something about the Enola Gay cover, what would you change and how has your style evolved? We kind of covered this already, but if you could just give
Yeah,
like a one sentence, just so I can say for sure we answered the question.
yeah. Probably wouldn't do it with AI.
That's
That's my take.
fair. And
Yeah,
I would say how your style has evolved. I think you've gotten a lot more dynamic. Like the colors that we're seeing in your portfolio are so expressive. I think you're working with so many different styles and all with the same tool, Photoshop, which is incredible because they all look so different from each other.
yeah.
I don't know if you would agree with that too.
My portfolio is like from 2022, so if you guys want to look at my newest work, you can check out my Instagram page. That's where I post
There you
most of
go.
my stuff.
And what's your handle?
It's os.oso.so.
Okay, perfect.
Again,
I'll put
again,
it.
os.oso.so.
Okay, I will definitely put that
It
in.
makes sense in Spanish.
What does it mean in Spanish?
It's like silly bear, like dumb bear,
Oh, that's
like the
cute.
animal. Yeah,
Oh, I like that. That's really cute. Um, okay. Ella W. Giata, GKTA, she asks, why did you pick these colors? And we did kind of talk about this already.
yeah.
I think this is, it came through a lot of photos, but the way that you manipulated colors, I think, is so interesting. You added a lot of light. You toned down some of the artificial colors and made it even more natural. Would you add anything to that, or do you think that's a good answer?
I chose those colors because is those are the colors that represent the music the best.
Perfect. Okay. Somebody asked what your favorite song in the album is.
It's probably a lot of people's favorite song, but it's most definitely La Naturaleza.
Oh, okay. I did listen to the whole album yesterday, and that one is really great. So,
Great.
um, okay, we already asked about whether you were inspired by historical events, so I won't make you re-answer that question, but I will just shout out the person who asked it, which is Spasm Spectre. So thank you for asking that question. Um, And let me just check to see if there's any new questions because those are the ones I have written down. Someone says, "Love the designs. Does he do T-shirts?"
Yeah, I do t-shirts. I have some t-shirts that you can buy of. Uh, there's a page in my Instagram where you can buy some t-shirts I made. They were designs inspired by some bands and some shows, TV shows.
That's awesome. All right, well there you go. Okay. Um,
I'm
well,
I'm also working on a band's t-shirt right now from Temuco right here in Chile. So if you need a shirt made, a design for a merch for your band, you can talk to me, DM me.
absolutely. Okay, great. So if somebody, was my next question. If somebody wants to hire you, where's the best place to contact you?
Just my Instagram DMs. It's fine.
Perfect. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Well, that is all the questions I had for you today. So I just wanted to take a second to say a big thank you so much for participating in our chat today. We're going to post it on YouTube. So I'll send you the link. You can send it out on, you can put on your Instagram story, whatever you want. But this has been awesome. I think, our community was really curious about your design process. You were so generous to hop on and explain everything to us. We are massive fans of your art and also of the music itself. And I just wanted to once again say thank you for participating and for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This was great. This was fun. It was a great opportunity. I really appreciate being able to talk about my work, and I feel really validated right now. So thank you so much.
Yay. Okay. Well, at some point, I'll invite you back and maybe you can do a little tutorial for us and we'll
Yeah,
learn
maybe.
even more about your process. But awesome. Okay. Well, I'm going to say goodbye to chat. A bunch of other people in the chat have been saying Chile is the best country. So I agree. I'm going to come to Chile and we'll all hang out. But thank you guys so much for watching and we will be back soon with another interview.